Before you do that, you're actually the reason I came over here in the first place. I don't suggest partaking of my stock until you're properly well, but if you're passing near the stairs, then I have a regular who's eager to see you. Okay, sure. I best be getting back. Just because the world's coming apart at the seams doesn't mean we have to follow suit, does it? Tell me you've got something to show me. Something that'll give me a muse right to good kick up the arse. Have you seen my hat? My hat's pretty cool. The Ondo want honor of coming to these ancients, so their answering light got to blaze the right kind of brightness. Like the spark of life caught in a crystal, but just being sparkly is not enough. It's got to dance with the joy of sorrow and sense of hardship endured. You know what I mean? Your thoughts turn to the warriors of light from the first and the crystals you discover at the end of their journeys. Maybe Renault would find them inspiring. Crystals. What in the world is he talking about? Present something inspiring to Renault. I've let the Ondo down, aye. But more than that, I've let myself down. Might as well go back to mending kettles. What crystal, which one belonged to one of Ardbert's companions? Sure. I don't remember getting a crystal that belonged to one of Ardbert's companions. What's this you got here? Such striking beauty, it shines with a heartache and laughter of the transience of life, like the turmoil of history made manifest. I just straight up don't remember getting that, but maybe I missed it. Or I just forgot, I don't know, memory hold it. Welcome back, hat enthusiasts, to another episode of Journey Through Eorzea. As always, I am your host, Man with Hat, Tiberius Fox. Yeah, it's totally before the end of the thing. This totally happened then. Absolutely not. Definitely not post. No. Thanks to our good friend Cropulus, we have asked and we have had the answers. So we're going to take a couple of detours. So here's the plan, just so everyone understands what's going on. So we're going to do the role quests for magical range, which is what we are as the fancy red mage, as you see. So we're going to do that. I don't remember much of them. Like I said, I remember the one mostly. It looks like it's going to be that fellow up there. If you look at the map, you will notice there is only one there. So we're going to do the role quests, and then once we're done with that, we're going to do the Eden raids. And then once we're done with both of those little side quests, then we are going to continue on to, the rest of the main story quest. So, without further ado, let's go up and talk to our companion for this. It is Serig, apparently, which I don't remember Serig very well. Like I said, I remember, let's see, hang on. We went over this a little bit before, but, Giat, the little, dwarf lady, which, she's got her, little helmet thing off. Interesting. I think if you see her normally, she doesn't have that off. And then I think the other guy is out in the field, so you don't talk to him. And then there's the other guy. I guess it's just, not really reflecting that they're there. But he's here, so it's fine. Anyway, Serig is here. So we'll talk to Serig, and then we'll get going. Serig is eyeing you inquisitively. So, just as a thing, obviously, they wanted you to do this before you went in, because then you offer what you get from one of these. For that, you're like, oh yeah, I have this gem thing. And that's what helps Gronald or whatever, figure out how to make the lamp. He's like, I can't possibly, and then you show him the stone. Well, during that time, it was supposed to be like, you wouldn't have done it, and it's like, you have to do one of the role quests and complete it completely to have that gem or that, soul stone type thing to actually proceed. And so this is what we're going to do. We're going to retroactively get that. So we're going to do that. Let me guess. You're standing in front of Serig, bounty hunter non-perele, because you have a mind to aid me in felling the dread Phronesis? Do I have the right of it, or do I have the right of it? You have the right of it. Phronesis what's this? If I'd known you better, I could have sworn you just suggested that you're unfamiliar with Phronesis. That's what we're going to call him. We're going to call him Phronesis. But that couldn't be. No sinner worth his salt could be so ignorant. We're going with that voice. That's what we're going to do. The Black Mage. Allow me to elaborate. Phronesis isn't just your run-of-the-mill stray sin-eater. He's one of the nastiest the realm has ever seen, reformed from the remains of one of those goddamned warriors of light. There are 4 of them, all told, crawled up from the bowels of the deepest hell from being buried on nigh a century, if the tales are true. People have come to call them the cardinal virtues. Before he was transformed into a senior, Phronesis was none other than Archmagus Nilebert, whose baleful magics were feared the realm over. Though it's only been a few short years since he first showed up in Amarang, he's already preyed on far too many innocents for his foul sorcery, sorry. Not keen on seeing his trade routes disrupted, the local merchants have placed a healthy bounty on his head. Of course, I'd like nothing more than to fell the fiend single-handed and claim the entire bounty for myself. Unfortunately, circumstances have dictated that I recruit a companion. I almost thought it said champion. A companion, and that's where you come in. I mean, to be fair, I am a champion as well. Provided that you can prove to me that you possess the rather specialized set of skills that I require, I promise I'll make it worth your while. Not a bad offer, wouldn't you say? If you fancy yourself up to the task, come find me in Amarang. I mean to set off there shortly. I mean, who would I be to not do that? So, yeah, so I don't know what the structure of this is going to look like. This could be like 2 episodes. I don't know. I mean, usually we just go for, you know, whatever the thing happens to be. So, we've never done, like, job quests, so to speak. Mord Sook. What is this? Hang on, I'm trying to see. In at Journey's Head and there. Alright. Well, you know. To the Amaro launch. Should be able to just, like, find our way. Ah, it's a person. Who's this? Esekel Lorin. Level 79 Machinist. With a fancy hat. Still can't remember which one of these is which. No, I don't want to go Kalusha. Amarang? Absolutely. Alright, oh, there he is. How about that? How convenient. So you came. It's good to see someone who isn't all talk. As fortune would have it, another Sea-Eater, a far less imposing specimen than Phronesis, of course, has been sighted just to the west of here. Prove to me that you have the skill to back up your words, and we'll talk further. Trying to bait me, dog? I don't know if I... Mjolnir, no! I need you. I need Mjolnir. For no particular reason. Hired guards. And Danta. What are you about, Danta? Without a marrow, we'd struggle to transport goods between here and the Crystarium. A lot of the boxes here contain their feed brushes and whatnot. Alright, sure. I don't think we talked to that guy the first time, but we're talking to him now. Excuse me, slippery armadillo. And other slippery armadillo. Oh, I see purple smoke. And there's Sarag. Let's see what Sarag has to say. Let's really figure out. Like, normally I wouldn't, but since he's the only other character we're really talking to, might as well. Sinidir isn't far from here. I can feel it. Track it down and let's see what you're capable of. Alright. Oh, there he is. Well, you know, I've killed everything in the area, but you don't know that, and I understand that you don't know that. I have fire and stuff. There you go. Between me and my bird, there's no problem. Good show, friend. I wasn't sure what to expect from you, but seeing you in battle has left me with little doubt. Seems I've found myself a formidable ally. And so I'll extend the offer in earnest. Help me hunt down Phronesis and we'll split the bounty down the middle. What do you say? That's the spirit. Now, there's more you should know before we proceed. Come with me to Mord Sook, my base of operations, and I'll fill you in on the details. Alright. Well, you know, I don't think there's not... Say, there's not a chocobo thing there. It's still there, so... Mjolnir! Come, let us go. Hiya. Oh my gosh, we're flying. It's amazing. You know what I should do at some point? Mjolnir needs another one of those... The Thanavarian onions? I can't remember. That you use. He's like almost to max level. I just got to get like one more, but they cost so much that I have not taken the time to get one. And I don't think there's anywhere else to get one. I'm sure people have to like grow them or something, or harvest them or something like that. Alright. Welcome to Mordsuk, friend. As you can see, bustling trading post frequented by merchants across the realm. At least it was, before Phoenicia showed up and started preying on unwitting travelers. Hence the bounty, you see. The lucrative reward has attracted the attention of one capable bounty hunter after the next, yet the fiend still roams free. You can probably imagine why. Those few who have seen Phronesis and returned to tell the tale speak of the great horrors they witnessed. Cavernous black holes materializing out of thin air, swallowing everything around them into the abyss. Okay, that's vaguely familiar. I kind of remember that. I remember someone actually gets pulled, like we meet somebody, I think. People have taken to calling them the Hollows. Rumor has it that one barely has time to lay eye on Phronesis before he summons forth the Hollows, which proceed to consume everything in sight. And I do mean everything. Just the other day, an entire caravan was devoured by the Hollows, leaving only nothingness behind. Mages have postulated these holes are literally tears in the fabric of our reality, gateways to other worlds, to put it another way. At any rate, suffice to say, the next man to come back from the void will be the first. Almost said last, I know. And yet there's something odd about all of it. Witnesses say Phronesis doesn't seem to go out of his way to prey upon people or settlements. He simply shambles across the wastes, summoning hollows one after the next, and the destruction follows as a matter of course. Needless to say, drawing too near to the fiend is tantamount to suicide. Even attacks from afar have been all but futile. But Phronesis simply summons the hollows to consume every incoming arrow, and every inconceivable means of attack foiled. Even the most savvy bounty hunters have all but thrown up their hands, even though the bounty now stands at some 9-10-fold the original amount. I'm of a different mind, however. The way I see it, if there's only one way to neutralize the hollows, or if only there was a way to neutralize the hollows, we more than stand a chance against Phronesis himself. This is why I require your services. Your easy triumph over Sin Eater spoke clear. You're a mage of no common skill. If anyone has arcane knowledge and aptitude to help me figure out a way to defend against the hollows, it's you. Yeah, no, I sling a spell now and again. Don't worry, I fully intend to shoulder my share of the burden. And so I plan to gather all the information we need before asking you to put yourself in harm's way. And with that, I'd best get to work. Once I've formulated a proper plan of attack, we'll talk again. Until then, I suggest you continue to hone your casting skills. The battle that awaits us will not be an easy one. Somehow I doubt that. I think it'll be super easy, barely an inconvenience, actually. It'll just be a nuisance. Sarek has made a breakthrough of sorts. Well, that's good. Ah, there you are. And your timing couldn't be better. As luck would have it, a little bird told me that Phronesis was sighted in the vicinity not long ago. Don't worry. I have no intention of rustling in like a fool. My plan is to shadow the Sin Eater from afar, that we might observe the hollows with our own eyes and formulate a suitable plan of attack. To that end, I procured the mannequin here from the merchant acquaintance of mine at the Crystarium. By setting it on Phronesis' trail, I mean to gauge just how wide of a berth we might keep from the fiend so as not to be sucked up into the void. Shed no tears for this little fellow, friend. His sacrifice will be key to our success. And yet, as you can see, he's not quite in the best state of repair. Pray lend me a hand in procuring what we need to get him back on his feet. What? You're a lifesaver, friend. I just spied a nasty-looking Sankin Sibyller looking around in the east of here, and I do believe one of the tendons should serve well to put us some spring back in the little fellow's step. Snag one for me, and I'll see to the repairs. What thing is he talking about? Am I like should I be seeing something here? I don't know what he's talking about. Maybe there's something missing that would normally be there. That's fine. Alright, Mjolnir, let's go find the thing. Don't hit me. Ah. Alright. What do we need? There's a person standing there. No, that's Remington Winchester. Level 86 machinist. The machinists are out today, apparently. So it would seem. Oh, purple smoke. There we go. Alright, what you got for me? Oh no. It is a Sankin Sildus. We have killed him. Hiya. I'm not above flying for this. Traveling to and fro in this way. I unlocked flying. I took my lumps. Mjolnir knows what's up. Alright, let's see. Serig. It's ironic that Eden's verse starts in this area, and we are with Serig, who's also in this area. Any luck finding that tendon? For my part, I've acquired something that should serve as a makeshift gear. Cost me an arm and a leg, but hey, if it helps us claim that bounty in the end, it'll be more than worth it. Here you go. Perfect. Yes, I reckon this durable and elastic enough to replace the mannequin's snapped drive belt. I'll fetch my toolbox and get started straight away. In the meantime, why don't you scout out a suitable lookout point? Phronesis was last sighted somewhere southeast of town. Try to find a spot on higher ground out of sight and through the main thoroughfare. Alright. Come, Mjolnir. Mjolnir! Fun fact, I named Mjolnir because he was protecting me at the time, because I read his first thing was being a tank chocobo. Defender chocobo, if you prefer. And, big Halo fan, at least once upon a time. So I was like, alright, yeah. I should make him green, though. Like, I feel like... I like him looking white like this. I think he looks cool. But, like, part of me thinks he should be green because it would be more realistic. But he's been white for so long that, like, as soon as they added coloring or chocobo, I was like, yeah, we gotta do that. He is Snow White, just for anyone curious. Oh, there he is. Ho there, friend. As you can see, our clockwork friend is back up in tip-top shape. And since it appears you found us a perfect lookout spot, why don't we get down to work? I'll kindle us a fire. We can be here for a while. We might be here for a while. Okay. It's a desert. It's hot out, but you want to have a fire? Sure. Are we gonna like roast like marshmallows or eat snacks? Well, I'll be. There's the bastard. Look closely now and hold your gaze. You must witness the sheer horror with your very own two eyes. He's like 20 feet away. I feel like we are not far enough away. The horror. He made a vortex. No, we mustn't send out our mannequin too soon. If Phronesis sees us, he may very well blast it to bits before it even has a chance to investigate the hollows. I would like a canonical reason for why these dudes exist, because they got turned into ether when they got turned, like, killed themselves or whatever to stop the flood of light. And there he goes. I'll send the mannequin in to trail him. Let's sit back and enjoy the show. It's a robot. But why did he make a rift? Well, there he goes. Just as I expected it. Gone without a trace. Shed no tears for our little friend. Through its sacrifice, we now know just how much distance we must keep from the hollows to avoid being sucked into the void. Now it's our turn. Let's edge a bit closer and see what we can observe. Mind you, take care not to wander too close, lest you fancy a vacation to a dark, shadowy abyss. So we watched him show up randomly. He made a rift randomly for no reason. The robot walked into the rift. It gave us a gauge of how far you could be from it. And now we're, like, walking up to be close, but not too close. Okay. It's as if a shadowy whirlwind rages inside, ready to suck anything and everything into the void. I've seen many a horrific sight in my day, but this sends a shiver up my spine. I mean, I guess? It's not good, but I mean, I don't know if I'm... Let me out. It's so dark in here. Oh, there's a boy in there. That's not good. Why the pale face, friend? You look as though you've seen a ghost. You didn't hear, like, the voice coming out of there? A voice, you say? From inside the hollow? But that's impossible. Is anyone out there? Please help me. Please help me get out of here. Over here. It's over here. That's sure. Was that a voice? Is someone out there? If you can hear me, please, you must help me. I can't see anything. No road, no trees. Not even an aether current to follow. Which way do I go? How do I get out of this place? This voice, what in God's name is it saying? He can't hear it at all. Weak. The voice of a boy, you say. Claims he's lost inside with no aether current to follow. Sounds like he's adrift in the flow, not unlike what would happen if the aetherite to which one was teleporting were destroyed in mid-journey. That's a really tall bow he has. Wait a minute, what if there was some way you could channel your ether into the void? Might that not allow your etheric form to serve as a beacon of sorts to guide the child back to us? Of course, not that I know how we'd go about doing that. Oh yeah, no, I do. I've done that all the time. You reckon you could do just that? I won't even think of asking how. Do your damnedest. I don't know why we don't just use a rope. It would make more sense to, like, lower rope in there. I know they'd have to animate that, but I'm saying, like, you lower rope in there. Because, like, if it's sucking everything in, how does he get out? You know what I'm saying? Wicked White, I knew you were no ordinary sinner, but you still have ways to find to surprise me. Like, right now, he's flopped himself out of the ground, but, like, how? It sucks things in. I don't get it. It's fine. For the sake of the story, it is fine. We pulled boy out of Rift. What? Where am I? Well, I'll be damned. There was a child inside. Our little expedition has left us with more questions than answers, eh? But for now, this boy needs our care. Let us carry him back to Mordsuk and find him a warm bed and some nourishment. You know, I'm not 100% sure, but this dude we're chasing might be in the book. I don't know for sure. I kind of want to see, because, I mean, like, if we're doing this whole thing, right? Max. Hang on one second. I just want to see if it's, like, in here somewhere. It might be Vanquishers of Virtue. Is that 154? Let's see if that's the one. It says Vanquishers of Virtue. Okay, the Vanquishers of Virtue, they're all here. So there is a point on these two dudes, so why not? We could read that real quick. Sareg Morpurse, a 25-year-old bounty hunter who calls the Crystarium home. Well aware of the dangers of his profession, Sareg leaves no stone unturned when preparing for a job. His decision to hunt Phronesis, too, he made only after a thorough consideration of the reward offered versus the risk involved. Likewise, the moment Sareg witnessed Phronesis' ability to open dimensional hollows, he resolved to find a mage who could negate said perils. Cautious as he is in his work, however, he fails to apply the same diligence to his own life. It is perhaps fortunate, then, that Tainor, the young ward whom Sareg took under his wing, has proven such a dependable companion. Which he will. And then, let's see, Alright. After he was rescued from a dimensional hollow, I just want to make sure there weren't any spoilers in there. I'll put a picture of this up, too. After he was rescued from a dimensional hollow, it became apparent that Tainor was born in a time before the Flood. He and his dear friend Nilebert, so he is friends with the mage guy that is now a Sin Eater guy, were raised by a consortium of magic wielders. Their innate sorceress aptitude honed for the purpose of summoning creatures from other worlds. While Tainor was perfecting his art, however, he was sucked into the rift through a gate he had created. Only countless moons later did he manage to escape by another portal summoned by Phronesis. But though 100 years had passed in the first, his physical appearance was just as it had been when he had vanished, that of a 10-year-old boy. Eventually coming to terms with his situation, Tainor would elect to fight alongside Sareg and the Warrior of Darkness and help bring an end to Phronesis' tragic tale. So, that's what we got for that. I don't think we have one. There might be one in here somewhere for that, but yeah, so I just thought I'd add that little thing. So, let's go ahead and see if we can help our dude. Oh my gosh, it's Brissa Candela, a Requiem for Heroes, level 74 summoner. You know, I just heard a good dude today. I wouldn't imagine to say who it was. Tell me they're a summoner main. Fun fact, as though I've mentioned before, my summoner is like level 30. I've barely played it. Meanwhile, my scholar is way high. It's like max level, I think. The boy's resting now. He is weak but not wounded. At least as far as I can tell. Needless to say, his presence raises questions. Are there others trapped on the other side of the hollows? If so, they may also be returned to our world alive. There is much we must ask him when he awakes. On another subject, this might be an odd question, but have you ever looked after a child before? As a matter of fact, I have from time to time. You don't say. In that case, he's all yours. I'm jesting, friend. I can't very well tie you down here forever. Worry not, I'll manage somehow. I suppose the first order of the day should be to get some food in his belly. He does look terribly pale, after all. Methinks I'll go hunting for some meat. No, perhaps I'll take him to a physician first? After all, he may be suffering from some ailment inscrutable to the eye. Or maybe I should... Damn it all, I knew I wasn't cut out for this. Alright. Well, we're making progress. This might... I know these are all sections, because this next one's like, what? 74, so that was 70, 72, 74, and it'll go all the way up to 80. So we'll probably actually finish this all in one episode. So, alright. Okay. I wanted to search and see if the book had anything on the virtues. It didn't seem to. It has a whole background on Nilebert, but like not like a personal one. It's telling a story about like the Warriors of Light and how they did their whole thing and how they came to be. So the Warriors of Light are the first. So, all right. Ah, there you are. You'll be happy to know that the boy is awake and seems to be no worse for wear, physically speaking at least. There's just one rub, you see. He has no recollection of where he came from or how he managed to get swallowed up into the void. Well, that's good. In fact, other than his own name, Tainer, he can't remember much of anything at all. He seems a good lad, mind you, eats his half-arsed cooking with a smile, and nary a word of complaint, yet I reckon he's hurting inside, and badly. We must reunite him with his parents with all due speed. I suggest that he go for a stroll around Mordsuk in hopes that his sights might help jog his memories. He can't have wandered far. Why don't you go check up on him? Obviously, we spoiled a touch, right, by reading the entry, but I'm not, we're replaying. We're not first time playing, so. Viscera Eyes. Also anyone Dark Knight. I'm sleepy. Alt. Oh, this way. But even so, that's not why we're here. We're not worried about this kid. We're worried about the one dude. We're worried about the mage guy who's dead. Do not tell me. You were the one who rescued me from the flow, yes? I feel from you the same warmth that reached out to me when I was adrift in the ether. Yeah, it was me. Well, I'll be damned. The boy's a sharp one. And that's not the least of it. The carer who examined him said that they could feel great power welling up from within him. Despite his young age, Tainer here seems to possess a remarkable command of the magic arts. Perhaps I do, yet I cannot say. Try as I might, I cannot recall anything of who I am or where I came from. Only the darkness. No need for apologies, boy. You did well to make it back to us. Speaking of which, can you remember anything of all of what you felt when you were adrift in the void? That I remember, or at least I think I do. I recall a vague sensation of someone passing alongside me. Indeed, I believe this is what roused me from my slumber. If the Hollows truly are a gate between worlds, then that would mean that someone recently traveled from ours to another, or from another to ours. But that's not possible. Or is it? You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. You know something I don't, friend? Worry not, I won't pry for details. Ah well, no sense in racking our brains over matters beyond our comprehension. Let's concentrate on what we can do, namely finding the boy here a home. No doubt his memories will come back to him in due time. You do that for me? But for two of you have already saved my life. I couldn't possibly burden you any further. It's no burden at all. Besides, if we can't figure out just who you are and where you came from, it might just lead us to the answers we seek. Now let's consider the options. One possibility is that you're an orphan, all alone in this world with not a soul to care or look after you. And yet this seems unlikely. Yes, the mystical powers you possess say otherwise. If you are truly as skilled in magic as they say, then it stands to reason that someone trained you in the art. Who this master of yours is, and whether you are by blood, they simply received the tutelage of this I cannot say, but either way I'm certain they're worried sick about you. If that is truly so, I would very much like to meet this person too. That settles it then. Let's get down to business. I took the liberty of inquiring around Murdsuk and the Crystarium. Unfortunately, there have been no reports of missing persons matching Tainer's description, which means that we have no choice but to look our search elsewhere. I know a merchant in town who travels off and take him far afield. Let's have a talk with him and see if he's heard any helpful rumors. Is that one of those goblin guys? I don't think these guys are... I can't remember. I want to say they're goblins, but the goblins are the other guys. Those are the guys with like, the masks all the time. These are not goblins. I can't remember what these guys are called, though. I don't think, anyway. But, you know, hey, it's not one of those guys. Rumors of a missing boy, you say? Funny that you ask. A long shot, I reckon, but I overheard something the other day that might be of use. Go on. On my way to Murdsuk, I stopped over at the Inn of Journey's Head. There I met an ailing mage. As Karis told it, they had been ambushed by a sin eater and was separated from his child in the battle. Bloody hells, could it be? The sin eater that attacked that poor man was Phronesis. That will explain everything. This man you speak of, he could be my father? We must go to him at once. Agreed. I only hope that the man is... No, there's no point in presuming the worst. Let us go take to the inn and see what the Karis can tell us. Thank you, savvy merchant. We have to go to the inn at Journey's Head. And as we all know, I could run over there. I could ride Mjolnir over there. I could fly on Mjolnir over there. Or we can take an Amaro, because that's what cool kids do. Yes. Totally worth it. That is quite the thing. It's crazy that it was like liquid and then they were like, no, we'll stop it by solidifying it. Which is cool. The thing is, like, that city's been somewhat uprooted, but like, the buildings aren't all destroyed and it's only been like 100 years. You could still use those buildings. You just couldn't use all of them. Alright, Viscera Eyes, we already know who you are. You're sleepy, we already know that. Oh, back this way. Oh, Briscandella. Did he already breathe Briscandella? Level 74 Summer? Yeah, it's the one from earlier, okay. Ho there, I hear there's a mage in your care who's lost his boy. Well, I do believe we have him right here. I fear there must be some mistake. The boy in question has already been found. This is him right here. Hello, young boy. What? So it wasn't my father after all. This boy with you, he too has separated from his family? Just so. We heard that there was a man he was looking for his son, and we just hoped. Alas, it seems it wasn't meant to be. But there are so many people here, yes? Might I ask around and see if any of the others are my family? But of course. Yet many people here are quite ill, and in many cases in considerable pain. It is not a place for a young child to walk around unattended. Indeed it is not. Guess that means either myself or Tiberius here should accompany him. I'll go with him. A walk might help me or take my mind off things. Not a bad idea, if the lad doesn't mind. I reckon Trainer would rather be with someone of his own age. You wanna go? Yeah, sure, we'll go over there. Sorry about your dad. Take his mind off things? Speaking of which, how's the boy's father holding up? I fear the poor man has already departed on his journey. He is a man no longer. The child insisted on staying by his father's side until the last. I permitted this out of respect for him, though parts of me regrets the choice. None so young should suffer such horrors. It was some small solace to learn that he was living relatives who reside at Crystarium. In fact, I was just making preparations to escort him there myself. I see. Reckon we should also go find someone to look after Trainer as well. Don't get me wrong, friend. I haven't given up on the prospect of finding the boy's family, but we have no other leads, and a deadly sin eater could still be on the loose. If the lad tags along with us every step of the way, he's far more likely to end up dead or worse than ever to reunite with his family. Here's what I propose. We find someone to watch over Tainer for the time being, get back to the hunt, gather whatever clues we can about his origins along the way. There's not more we can do. Very well, we must see that he is safe. Yeah, I feel like there's nothing more we could do than that, just like dumping him off. I too wish there was more we could do to get lad. But think of it this way, if we don't do something about that damn senior, who knows how many poor children will take up like Tainer. Look, I don't like this any more than you do, but it's the best way we can do for the boy given our circumstances. At any rate, let's find him and share the news. Don't worry, it's my decision and I intend to take responsibility for it. Well, that guy's got mutton chops, blonde ones no less, so I'm inclined to trust him. There's Halric. He's still Halricking at this time. Hello, Halric. Eat the fruit. Still on the table? Everyone's died since then. Eat the fruit, you peasant. Bad news, friends. It seems the two young ones got into a quarrel of sorts, and Tainer's up and run away. Seems the lad mentioned how he come out from one of the hollows. The other boy put out 2 and 2 together and figured he'd been attacked by a sin eater. And then I said my dad was attacked by a sin eater, and then he turned into one himself, so I asked, what if you turned into a sin eater too? Tainer's face went all white. He kept saying, what do you mean? What do you mean? Over and over and over again. I couldn't take it anymore. Before I knew it, I was shouting at him, shut up, just shut up. I bet you're turning into a sin eater already. Why? Why did I say such a mean and nasty thing? Don't be so hard on yourself, lad. Both of you had a rough go of it these past few days. Nobody can blame either one of you for feeling a bit on edge. But we must hurry and find Tainer before he comes to harm. Let's split up. I'll search the west, you take the east, and be careful out there. Yeah, Brissa Candela can't come, though. Sorry, Brissa Candela, you can't come. It says to go this way. Why, could it be these 3 small scorpions? I am not afraid. Ha. I will hit him with a jolt. I have saved you, Tainer. You are afraid. Allow me to hover my hand in front of your face until we solve this problem. When I heard the clamor of battle, I feared the worst, but I see you have everything under control. Are you okay, lad? Forgive me. I don't deserve this kindness. I was just so scared, and I worried about what would happen to me if I never recovered my memories. And then I started thinking, what if I ended like the boy's father? What if it's already happening to me? That's one matter you needn't worry yourself with. The care who examined you told me as much. You suffered no direct wounds. You're in no more danger of turning into a senior than Tiberius or myself. Is that so? That's good to hear. But I must apologize to that boy. I should have known better than to badger him about such things, especially after what happened to his father. Funny thing that. He was saying the same thing about you. You both have good hearts, lad, and you've been through more than any man should. There's no need to be ashamed about your feelings. There's still so much I understand about this world. Why does no one here know of me? Am I doomed to be alone for the rest of my days? Why must it be this way? If only I could remember something, anything. I'm sick of not knowing who I am. I'm sick of being alone. Try flashback? Let's go! You don't see these much outside of the MSQ, though. Like, real talk. I don't remember seeing them very often outside the MSQ. Thank you, Echo. Now it's your turn, Tainer. And do not be disheartened by your last attempt. Even the greatest mages have ever known failure. Your commander's magic is equal of my own. If I can succeed, there is no reason why you cannot. Free your mind of worry and focus. Thank you, Nilebert. I shall try my best. Nilebert. Now I know exactly who you are. Wicked White, are you all right, Tiberius? I remember now. I was standing here on those brighted plains. My head hung low in shame. Then Nilebert turned to me with a smile and heartening words. Nilebert. Why does that name sound so familiar? I reckon we have much to discuss, but not this godforsaken place. Let's head back to the inn and see what we can't get from the bottom of this. I cannot begin to explain to you how, as an adult man who is 40, how painful it is when I read something and realize. I just want to see what this is. What is that? Oh, it's like a little seed type thing. How painful it is to realize that you've read something completely wrong and your brain just misinterpreted what you read. It makes you feel like the dumbest dyslexic person that's ever lived, I swear. But we're just gonna we keep going on the show. We don't stop for anybody. Especially not Brisa Candela, who is now AFK. Tainer, are you alright? I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have said those nasty things. Forgive me for reacting as I did. I'm fine. In fact, I seem to have recovered some of my memories. Really? That's wonderful. Maybe you don't feel so scared and alone anymore. I'm leaving to go live in the Crystarium with my relatives. Promise me you'll come visit? I mean, after you get your memories back and all, of course. It's a promise. Until next time, my friend. Goodbye, forlorn boy. We barely knew ye. I knew the two of you would work things out. Now let us return to Mord Sook. We have more than our share of questions that need answering. We are just popping off. For some reason, I remember these quests being longer than this. Maybe it's just because you couldn't do them all in one go unless you were already level 80. Maybe that's why. I don't know. What I do know is a marrow porter. A marrow's underappreciated. Night sky, impressive. Stars. Man, I want to go somewhere with no light pollution, unlike my house, and just look at the stars. I haven't done that in a long, long time. Here's a random backstory. My grandmother's house is way, way up north from where I live, and I'd go out, and she lived on a lake, and I would just go on the dock on her lake, and I just sit there, and you could see every star, it was unreal. Shield Maiden. Oh, that's cool. A level 80 paladin. That's actually pretty sick. Let's take a look at that. That is pretty sick. That is a very classic look. Oh, the shield's even got like claw marks in it. Oh, that is a look. Shield Maiden is popping. I love taking the time to appreciate how some people's characters look. Some people have like a real theme they're going for. Like a man with a hat, you know what I mean? That sort of thing. So. As I saw it, you first fainted all of a sudden. When you came to, a portion of Trainer's memories had returned. What in the world happened out there? Yeah, why did he get to remember stuff? Like, you came out and then I don't know. It's just weird. Was it because I was tied to his Aether or what? I don't understand exactly why he got it back. The power to look into the past, eh? And you're certain that what Tiberius described matches up with what your recollection of the past? I don't know how to break this to you, lad, but your friend Albert was with you that day. He's no ordinary boy. He's none other than the very man who became Phronesis, the one of those goddamn warriors of light. If he was just a young child back in his memories, that means that you saw took place over 100 years ago. Would that it were just a coincidence, another boy with the same name. But no, judging by the formidable command of magic, we can only assume it was him. On the way back, I managed to recall some more, about Nilebert and myself. We were taken by a group of mages, a consortium of sorts. They were searching for a means to open a hole to another world, and were recruiting young children with high magical aptitude for the task. Nilebert and myself were the two they chose. You can't be serious, and yet it would explain the Sinier's ability to summon those damned hollows. If you possess the same knowledge and training as Nilebert did, it could also explain why you were able to survive in there all that time. But what I don't understand is, why haven't you aged at all? I cannot say for sure, and yet my memories, they are slowly coming back to me. In time, I may be able to help you find a way to close the hollows. You'd be a lifesaver if you could, but don't overburden yourself. You're still recovering after all. In the meantime, don't worry. Tiberius and I will see that you're safe. Am I frustrated about that? Oh, it's because we changed his mind about the thing. I thought Trainer was just a victim of the Sinister. To think he was actually friends with the man himself, back when he was still a man. This can't be a simple coincidence. Yes, I'm convinced of it now. The child holds the key to defeating Phronesis. We must keep him safe and not let him out of our sights. Besides, look how hard he's trying to recover from his memories. I'm not so heartless as to kick the poor lad aside before he's figured matters out. There you go. You're not a completely heartless bounty hunter, man. Especially not with those mutton chops, dude. But we can't very well rush things. You and I will continue to prepare for the battle ahead while waiting for the rest of Tainer's memories to come back to him. That's to say, if it's all right with you, lad. I'm so sorry. I couldn't possibly burden you any further. Look, lad, I've only known you a short while, but I can tell you've got a good heart and a good head on your shoulders. I can only begin to imagine the horrors you've been through, not to mention the fears of uncertainty you face even now. But I want you to promise me this, no more apologies. You're no burden to us, not in the least. You're a valuable member of our band, and as long as you're willing, I want you with us. Isn't that right, Tiberius? Yep. As surely as this hat is fantastical. I see. Thank you, Sarek. Thank you, Tiberius. I will aid your quest in whatever way I can. Now that's more like it. We're counting on you, lad. Alright, the level 74 one is complete. Alright, Sarek, let's see. Good news, friend. Tainer here has told me that his memories are starting to come back to him. There's one recollection in particular he says is eager to discuss with the two of us. Tell us, lad, what is it? Yes, tell us, Tainer. As time goes by, memories of my earlier days return to me piece by piece. Nilebert and I were born to members of a great consortium of mages. From our earliest years, we were tutored in the magical arts by some of the realm's greatest scholars. The consortium's leaders sought to find a way to open a hole in time and space, a portal to upper worlds where they could summon forth beasts of great power. Albert and I were chosen to participate in the research. Summoning great beasts from beyond our world? You're a mage, Tiberius. Is that even possible? Perhaps even he speaks of void scent. Yeah, maybe he's speaking of void scent for sure. Void scent. Never heard of them. But I'll take the answer as a yes. Mages come up with the damnedest ideas. And yet, I don't understand. Wherever would they use two bung boys as such a dangerous experiment? So they don't have void scent here at all. They probably can't even exist in this realm because they're all from darkness and this place is just polluted with light. I'm guessing. The beasts our masters sought to summon reside in the planes most distant from our own. Reaching across such a great distance requires tremendous sort of innate ethereal power. Yeah, 13th versus the 1st, okay. And so our masters set about a breed of perfect mage. Marriages were arranged to wed the mightiest members of our consortium to one another, in hopes they would bring forth children thereto for unheard of magical aptitude. Finally they succeeded. And so you were born, and Albert. Indeed. From even before we could speak, we were taught the complex incantations required to breach the boundaries between worlds. We practiced these spells day after day, night after night, for what seemed an eternity. At long last we were deemed ready to attempt the summoning. Oh. Sadly, the experiment ended in failure. To pull from beyond the rift was too strong to resist, and I was sucked into a hollow of my own creation. There I remained trapped, alone and adrift in the empty void, until Tiberius called me back to this world. Alas, over a century had passed since that fateful day. That's the one thing I still don't understand. If so many years have truly passed, then why have you not aged it even a whit? I cannot say for certain, but I remember the words of one of my teachers. The rift is not unlike a border between countless worlds, a place that exists beyond time and space. If it is true the rift exists outside our concept of time, it is all too possible that even seconds spent in that empty pocket could correspond to months, years, or decades in our world. And so you've returned to us just as you were that day, even while over a century has passed for the rest of us. But why didn't Albert save you? Shouldn't it have been as simple as opening up another portal to the void where you were trapped? I fear that it would have been close to impossible. Opening the portal and reaching as far into the rift as we did required all of our energies to be focused in unison. So in losing you, not only did Albert lose his friend, he lost his only chance at saving you. Talk about dealt a rough hand. Fear not, I have good news to share as well. I do believe I've managed to recall the incantations needed to summon and manipulate the hollows. Summoning beasts from beyond the rift is far beyond my powers, but I just might be able to seal up the hollows for Nisus so enjoys summoning. What say you, friends? Shall I give it a try? Alright. Oh, now that's music to my ears. But let's not be too hasty. After all, the last time you tried to use this magic, there were some complications, to say the least. Yes, we must take the necessary precautions before confronting Phronesis in earnest. Let us meet outside the village, where Tainer can test out his magical safe for Mama. We all get sucked in the rift and everyone dies. Game over. Alright, so if you've seen an abrupt cut like this, you know what that means, and that means we had to do a little bit of fancy editing. So we're going to cut it here for this episode. The episode would have been over 2 hours. So I didn't, well, not over 2 hours. It would have been almost 2 hours. And I didn't want a giant, massive episode because then I have to cut down quality to make it a certain size and everything else. So we're not doing that. So that's where we're going to jump off here for this one. And then for the next episode, we'll have yet another abrupt cut in. And we'll finish up this particular storyline. So with that, thank you for watching San Dimas High School Football Rules. And as always, till next time.